channel, definitely do that. Click the subscribe button and like button. I would be so grateful for your support. Today I want to share with you my 2 cents on the state of women and protection and safety in America and in the world in general. So I was born in Soviet Union, and living in Soviet Union was like being hit by a frying pan every single day in your head. It's the worst. I tremendously do not advise to move into any country that has communism or to allow communism to happen in your country. For that, we all have to stand up. No matter what's happening in America, we cannot allow communists take over. That's different conversation. Communism sucks, and it definitely has no respect for human being whatsoever, and has no respect for female humans at all. And I think the problem has started many thousands of years ago when Atlantis collapsed. In earlier civilizations like Lemuria, like Atlantis before it collapsed, before it sank, women were reverenced. Women were the spiritual leaders of the countries. Men were their protectors. They were their providers. They were their defenders. And they listened to women advice. They listened to women intuition. Women were the spiritual heads of the country. Men were the strong, physical, loving supporters of female government, whatever. So, what happens? In the end of every great civilization, there's always an end. And in Atlantis and Lemuria prior to that, there was a lot of spiritual power and a lot of technology that was developed, and they abused the citizens of those civilizations, abused their power, and the civilization disappeared. What was happening right now is Atlantis happening all over again. And for many thousands of years, when Atlantis fell, the new race was born, which is the fifth root race. Rudolf Steiner talks a lot about it. During those times, it was the time of Kali Yuga, time of darkness, and the time of complete loss of reverence and respect for women. Women who knew the power of the herbs and stars and could listen and hear the unheard, seen the unseen, like it was before in Atlantean times. Now we're called witches. So if you are a powerful woman shaman, powerful medicine woman, suddenly you're being burned, because men don't want you to know things. They want you to be quiet. They want you to have sex with them when they want to have sex and when they don't want to have sex, and that's it. So men become the heads of state, heads of churches, heads of all the banking. All the powerful things are being brought to men, and thousands of years of abuse, of sexual abuse, abuse of power by men, and women letting it. I'm not blaming any single man whatsoever. Everything that happened to female population has to happen with the female population consent, because women allowed for that to happen. We're not victims. We are participants in the state of the world right now. So women power declines, and women now say, like in many countries, like my own country, you have almost no hope, no choice. If something happens to you, if you get raped or whatever, or India or South America, it's so hard to prove that this is what happened to you. America is better, in the legal system a little bit. However, America, and I've been here for 20 years now, is really disappointing me. Me coming from a third world country to America was like, wow, now this is the land of opportunity. This is land of equality, land of female respect. Not so much. However, it's happening more so now, because as you probably follow the news, doesn't matter which side you are on, left or right. I'm in the middle. I think we don't need to be divided. That's the problem with the society. The moment you divide society, and that's what has been done for thousands of years, the moment you divide society, you can control it and you can conquer. We cannot be divided as a society, but also we should understand that there is an attack on the woman right now happening. I had this conversation with a male acquaintance of mine who has a young daughter, and he said, I don't think there's an attack of women. Like, what do you mean, Elena? Like, I don't see it as such. And we were talking about transvestites and men becoming women in alarming quantities now. And I, for the record, have some of my best friends for over 20 years are gay guys. And some of them have a lot of transvestite girlfriends. And I know them and they're beautiful and they're talented. Nothing against those individuals. But what I am against is, for example, Tampax. Tampax was my first modeling job in Belarus. I took a job as a 16-year-old promotional model. They were paying me $1 and I was so happy. It was a big deal in Belarus, $1 an hour. So happy. I stood in the mall with my Tampax and I gave it to women. Tampax just arrived in post-Soviet Union space. And I was telling women how to use it. And they're like, whoa, this is great. Thank you for free Tampax. It was happy job. And I was very proud of it. And now in America, Tampax is being promoted by men to women. And women, some women, young women, think it's okay. Well, it's not okay because as a model, and I started modeling very young, I still do a little bit of it. I don't want Tampax, which is an opportunity for another young model, 16-year-old model like myself, to get a job. And of course in America they would pay her much more than $1 an hour to promote Tampax. I want that woman to have a job, to pay her bills, to pay her rent, to pay her apartment. Then some man who takes the Tampax and tells women to shove it. It's awful. It's not fair. And it's not okay. We women should not allow for, and again, I'm all about love and balance and being in the middle and loving everyone. I'm not hating on those people who become women, transitioned women. However, they're still not women and they're transitioned men who became women. They're not DNA women. So to promote a product like Tampax is ridiculous. They can have any other job in the world. They can work like many women work in Walmarts and offices and whatever, but do not promote Tampax. That's just ridiculous. Or female lingerie. Again, this is just ridiculous. This is a space that's supposed to be safe for women models, female models who need to make a living. And now men are taking that space. And speaking of safe space, what also concerns me is the bathrooms and the change rooms where the young girls go to change in schools and colleges. And now if a man says, I'm a woman now, they are allowed to enter and walk around with their jewels, with the lovemaking equipment on the full display. I was 10 years old in Belarus and I went horseback riding with my group of girlfriends in a horseback riding club. And thank God for Soviet Union, back then you could do what the heck you want. Nobody cares. If you get lost, your parents have no chance to sue the club and say, where's my daughter? They'll be like, hey, make a new one, it's all right. So they let us go. A bunch of young girls on horses. We were in the fields for a few hours by ourselves on the outskirts of the city that I lived in. And all of a sudden, I remember this naked adult man walking in front of us with his equipment, starting to masturbate. I didn't even know what masturbation was. I've never seen a penis in my life. So for me to observe that, it was disturbing. I still remember it. I remember the horror. I'm like, are we in danger? Is something gonna happen to us? Thank goodness we were a bunch of girls, young girls, on horses. We turned around and we left that field. Imagine if I was alone there in that field, right, on the horse. I don't know. I mean, still probably he wouldn't catch me on the horse, but still, it would not be as safe. However, it still traumatized me. And now I know in America, all these little girls have a chance to see penises in their change rooms. I played college sports. I played tennis, and in high school I played basketball. Those were the best days of my life. I loved traveling with my girlfriends. I traveled with the team. And thank God men were not allowed to join a female team at that time, because I was number 8 out of 8 girls, in tennis. Was a really good basketball player, was a little bit less good tennis player, but I still made it, and I made running team. I made all the teams, and there was no competition from guys, and that's why I made it. But all these college girls now that have to compete with men to even make the team, or to win the race or win the game, like, it's ridiculous. Men, transvestite men who are females, should have their own teams, and they should play against each other. America, you have the power to build a separate bathroom, a separate change room. Colleges have so much money. We don't need to traumatize our girls, and we need to stand up for our girls. Men and women have to stand up for the girls. There is no need to traumatize young girls, because now it's sexy to become a woman, and sexy to play in a women college sport when you are a man. This trend is ridiculous. We're repeating the Atlantis, like every great civilization has, I said, its rise and its fall. We are on the fall of a great civilization that is called America, and I welcome that. I think the absurdness of what's happening will have to reach its peak. Well, it has to become so bad that something will have to give, and maybe women will go on a revolution, or women say we have enough. Like, something will happen. I'm observing this. I'm expressing my opinion, and again, for the record, I love gays. I love transvestites. I just do not love when female space is endangered. I am so pro women. I'm so protective of women. I want women to have jobs. I want women to feel safe. For many thousands of years, women were burned, raped, didn't have enough education, still don't have enough education in certain countries, could not drive, you name it. I think we need to pee in safety. And I think we need to play sports knowing that we only compete against our own kind, and become a model, and know that you have a chance to promote female hygienic product and female lingerie, and it's not going to be given to a man just because it's sexy now. It's ridiculous. Come on, America. Let's try to wake up. I mean, maybe it's too late. I just want to express my opinion. I thank you for watching it. As a spiritual teacher, I want to say to all my female audience, and even male audience, if you're still with me, good for you, good for me. Good for you. Good for me. Anyhow, spiritual protection is the most important thing right now. And as a spiritual teacher, I tell all my students and myself, I do every single day this very, very powerful mantra called triple mantra. Triple mantra surrounds you in 9 feet of light, puts you in the right place at the right time. I made a video about it. I'll link it in this video below or above. One way or the other, you can find it. I'll put it in the description of this video. Check it out. Check it out. If it speaks to you, if you feel some kind of energy coming to you from this mantra, then do it daily. It will definitely protect you. My girls, my beautiful ladies, protect yourself, love yourself, find a man that will protect you and love you and reverence you. My beautiful men who love their women, I love you. Who reverence their women, I thank you. Who protect their women, I respect you and I salute you. Thank you for watching, guys. Cheers, and I'll see you back on my kitchen very, very soon.